Another interesting piece I took away, interesting, I guess, piece of information, the plan moving forward. We have talked about what the goalie tandem could potentially be next year, and all signs do point to Ersson Fedotov. Briere on the 2024-25 goalie plan. That's what we're planning on, would be Ersson and Fedotov next season. Something could change, especially with the history of this organization with goaltending. It seems there's always some drama there, but it would be nice to get away from the drama. It sure would, Danny.
I feel like I should put that in my
your tombstone,
my Twitter bio, and just quote it and be like, "Please, that should Flyers, stop with the constant drama."
That should be your new pinned tweet.
Yeah, exactly.
But Ersson Fedotov, we'll see what happens with Kolosov, and it wasn't completely ruled out that things could change there.
Sure.
I have floated the idea of let's carry 3 goalies. Like, if it's always a problem, let's plan ahead and not go with Cal Peterson and whoever the hell's in the AHL to replace Felix Sandstrom, because I assume he's gone. It's not as they can't possibly be like, we need to bring that guy back.
I honestly don't remember if his contract expires or if he's under contract for next year.
I'm fairly certain he is a UFA.
If he's a UFA, I think there's a good chance he's gone. But if he's under contract, they'll keep him.
Yeah, obviously. Let's see. Sandstrom is a 2024-25 UFA. Yes, this is last year.
Okay, yeah. So he'll probably be gone.
Like, I can't imagine they're like, this guy who the coach refused to play at every possible chance, let's keep him in the org.
My guess is they'll keep Cal Peterson just around because, hey, he could be the AHL goalie. He's clearly not an AHL caliber goalie. I do think this is interesting on a few levels, though, this Ersson Fedotov thing. That they are almost certainly going to be the tandem. They gave themselves a little bit of wiggle room where if something changes, but it seems like this is going to be the tandem for next year. There are 2 things this tells me. The first thing, which, again, I've said on this pod, I agree with, they very much believe in Sam Ersson. They think that if he's not being absolutely run into the friggin' ground, that he is already a solid NHL goalie, and they think he has even further upside than that. So they are excited to see what Ersson can do as the guy leading the tandem, but not the guy who's playing 20 out of 24 games.
We even said yesterday, if you want to play him 50 times again, all right.
That's totally fine.
But it doesn't have to be 18 out of 21.
Exactly.
You can just kind of sprinkle it in.
Which I think they plan to do. Yeah. The other thing this tells me, and this is interesting, and this brings me to a few of Danny's comments that he made. The fact that they plan to go into the season with Ersson Fedotov tells me that they, again, next year will be okay with not making the playoffs, because that is a move that is a plan you execute if you don't feel the urgency to make the playoffs right now. Because you're right. If your goal is playoffs at all costs, we want to win, this is a risky tandem. Ersson, who, end of season numbers, they don't look good. I don't think it's fair to judge him on those, but objectively speaking, they look bad. When the predictive models will come out for next season, they will not take into account that Ersson was running to the ground. They're going to look at his numbers and they're going to be like, he stinks. The Flyers are going to be bad because their goaltending sucks. And then Fedotov, who knows what he is? He could be real good. He could be real bad. I hope he has a good NHL career, because given all the crap he went through to get here, I think it would be awesome if he gets rewarded by his game translating. It would be cool, but we don't know. That tandem is a real risk to go with if your goal is to make the playoffs. If your goal is to continue to rebuild and develop, though, then it makes a heck of a lot more sense. And Danny straight up said, these are the quotes I want to get to from the beginning of the presser, when he was talking about the playoffs. And he's like, I'm still not quite there as far as saying that we're a contender. I don't believe we're at the point where it's time to let some young assets go to try to get better quicker. We're not there yet. But this was the money quote. And I know the expectation next year will be that, we've got to get in the playoffs. I don't even know that we're there yet. That is fascinating, and it speaks to what I'm talking about with the goalies, where it seems like next year is going to be another, let's just let it ride and see what happens, rather than a year of we are turning the corner and actually playoffs are the goal. And if we don't reach the playoffs, it's a failure. I think that's interesting because, again, if playoffs are the goal, this is not an intelligent risk to take.
No.
But if development and figuring things out and stockpiling assets and, basically building for a year or two down the road is the plan, then this tandem makes perfect sense because it's kind of like looking at it that way, there's two good outcomes. Outcome number one is one or both of those guys show they're real good and you have the solution to the goalie problem. Option number two is it's a disaster and the team picks in the top 5.
The best way to ensure you're not going to make the playoffs is have huge question marks in net.
Exactly.
Like you can have a decent enough team. You can have okay talent. I'm not saying like a great team. You can have decent enough talent. Like, okay, expectations, maybe we're in the playoffs, maybe we're not. And goalies can put you high in the lottery,
Yep.
That's just the way goaltending is in this sport. It has such an outsized impact on the result of your individual games. This does get me to these are quotes. I had them further down, but since you got to them, I know again, it's going to be talking in circles a little bit. But when I hear, I don't even know that we're there yet. It was a great year, but there's still a long ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
I say Danny's right. But why aren't we taking it down to the studs again then? It just gets back to this, step 1, collect underpants. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profit. Where does the thing that makes us the contender come from?
Well, to be clear, I think Briere articulated a lot of that, and this is something that fans aren't going to like. But frankly, and this is I will kind of shit on fans here. Fans do not believe that players can get paid. Players that are established NHLers can actually get better until they actually get better. And then it's, they were going to be good all along. Danny Briere and the Flyers very much believe that a lot of the guys already on the roster can get a lot better. I think that is part of their solution. That it is completely unacceptable for fans to hear that Joel Farabee's going to take another step and Tyson Forster might be a potential star and Owen Tippett could get better. That is unacceptable to them because they look at these guys and they're like, I know what these guys are. They're not good enough. Briere's response is, no, you don't. They could get better. We think they're going to get better. And that's going to go a long way towards solving the talent problem. That, I think, would be Briere's answer. And I don't know if I believe that all of these guys are going to become stars, but I do think that fans can, particularly fans that lean towards pessimism, which Flyers fans absolutely do, can mentally rule out the possibility that guys they think they know could actually take a big step forward.
It's not that I don't think the guys they have can take big steps forward. I still believe Owen Tippett has a 40-goal season in him. I still believe Jamie Drysdale could be a big part of this. I think a lot of these dudes definitely could. I think Tyson Forster could end up being first-line caliber player because of his two-way play and ability to score. All these things are possible. It's still, though, teams that win the cup have those guys and superstars.
I mean, they need at least one superstar. They hope they have it in Michkov. I don't think they necessarily need 4. I think that we've convinced ourselves, did Vegas have 4 superstars? They had 1 in Eichel. Then they had a guy in Mark Stone who, we're hoping Tyson Forrester can become that. I think that is the best case scenario, but it's a possibility. The numbers certainly look good. Vegas just won the cup by having 1 superstar. I feel because over the last 6-7 years, we've watched Colorado and Tampa Bay do it. We kind of have decided that you can only win with 5 fucking amazing players. And I don't think you need 5.
I just even if it's not, they're all Hart or Norris candidates.
Or Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Even if it's not that, it's just all right, you have a Selke guy in Taves. You have a Hart guy in Kane. You have Duncan Keith, who's a Norris guy. And then you have also Brent Seabrook, who can light the lamp for you on the power play, score some big goals. And you have a Marian Hossa, who he just does everything really, really well. Yeah. I just see this model as we're skipping 2 to 3 years from now. What's going to be different? Other than Michkov here.
We'll see.
That's the question I guess from those quotes.
And their response would be, in 3 to 4 years, hopefully, or 2 to 3, whatever you want to use, Tyson Forrester will be a really good player. Joel Farabee could be a really good player. Sam Ersson could be a clear-cut number one goalie who is putting up, 9, 10 plus save percentages every year. Cam York could be a clear-cut first-pair defenseman. Oliver Bonk could be here. Mitchkov, obviously, is the big one. Owen Tippett could be a 40-goal scorer. Like, they're looking at it as the most skeptical fans are underrating the talent they already have on hand. That's the way they're looking at it. Now, they might be wrong. None of these guys might end up being all that good. That was one of the I won't even go so far as to call it a mistake, but one of the bets that Hextall made that didn't pan out was he bet on the guys he took at the top of the draft, at least a few of them, becoming impact level guys. He was betting on Provorov, Konechny, Sanheim, Hart, Farabee, because that was the last year, Patrick, of course, Frost. And out of all of them,
German Rubtsov.
Like, I don't mean Rubtsov. I don't think they became pretty clear pretty quick that he wasn't going to be that guy. But the only guy out of that crew that hit that point was Travis Konechny. And he did it after Hextall was long gone. That was the risk he took. The risk he took was that if we make a lot of picks and we just, accumulate a ton of draft pick assets, that some of these guys are going to become stars. And the problem was that none of them really did, with the exception of Konechny, and he's more of a tier 2 star than a tier 1 star anyway.
And that's why I can't blame people for the pessimism.
Yeah.
Because it has played out this way.
They've watched it before.
It has played out this way before. I see we have a super chat up from, look at that. That's a perfect font right there.
Yeah, you can read it again.
I can. From Who is Mike Mall? Based on his responses today, is it time to worry Danny and Jonesy aren't thinking big enough in terms of the level of high-end talent they're looking to eventually acquire? And there is a question about that I want to get to in a second.
Okay.
Because that is, I do think, like, the way in which they're going to go about it, there is a good model, I think, for what they're doing, and it's the 08 to 11 Flyers. I think that it's just like they didn't do it, but they were good enough to.
Yeah.
And personality reasons,
they made the big swing trade for Pronger when it presented itself.
And you do that by having mid-tier guys like a Lucas Spezia you got in the first round, but not high.
Yeah.
And Joffrey Lupul, who's a nice player.
Yeah.
But
certainly expendable to get a Hall of Fame defenseman.
Exactly. Like I do think like maybe the best model is that team from 08 to 11. We'll see.
We all silly like the mayor.